Chapter presentation.
Booting up Smart Mark system. Microphones check. Soundboard check. Recording and streaming software check. Production sheets check. Smart Mark hosts check. All systems are a go. Tuesday Night Smackdown, you are clear for broadcast.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Welcome to Smarkdown.
Turn it up! Turn it up!
Tonight we have our hosts. It's the educated, that is me, Adam Baum. I've got the experienced, as always, that's our heavy Brian.
Hey, how we doing?
Our queen, your girl Kiara, will be joining us very shortly. Together we are the triple threat. And tonight we have a guest host joining our panel.
Who else we got?
He is our only bald Memphis correspondent. He is making his first appearance on Smarkdown live via our U-Record Smark line. Please welcome Bob back to our Marked Out family. Hi, Bob.
Hey, what's up, man?
Good to have you. We're going to get right into everything, but before we do, we got to do some housekeeping, Brian. Ready to clean it up?
Let's do it.
On cue as always.
Housekeeping?
It was there, man. It was there.
Thank you. Sleeping.
Housekeeping?
Come back in an hour.
Here are your Marked Out Wrestling Happy Notes. You can join us on our website at markedoutwrestling.com, on Twitter at SmartMarkShow, Facebook.com/markedout1, YouTube channel Marked Out Wrestling Podcast, where we broadcast live every Monday following Raw, our Google Plus page, Marked Out Wrestling Podcast, Instagram, Marked Out Wrestling, and our U-Record Studios Smart Line, 704-444-0084.
Get connected.
Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of God.
Housekeeping, you want me to jerk you off?
What kind of hotel is this? Oh, it's you.
Can you dig it, sucker?
So, quick rundown of tonight's stuff. We're going to do our Mud Report. We're going to get into this day in wrestling history. Then we're going to get into our 3 key ingredients, followed by the best and worst of the night. The CWC report, we're going to discuss round 2 in our predictions, Brian.
There's a lot to get into with that. This round, especially out of anything, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Well, and I'm looking forward to it because I've seen some of the guys now and kind of get familiar with them, so I'm excited to see them again.
Right on.
We'll go into our Make Me Care Diva segment. Brian, you'll have some trivia for us. Bob is going to guest host our Asshole Asylum for us tonight.
Thank God.
We might do some shots fired somewhere in there. We're going to talk just very, very briefly about Raw, a little bit about SummerSlam, and then go into final thoughts. What do you think, boys?
Sounds good to me, man. How you
Sounds
doing,
like a show, Bob?
That sounds like you've got everything planned out very precisely. Let's get this train off track.
Yeah, it'll go off track probably by segment 2. Brian already missed the housekeeping cue, so.
No, you guys you want everything just kind of cut and dry. It's not always like that. Sometimes you just have to kind of improvise.
I want to be able to point at my monkey and the sound effect that I want comes out.
Sometimes it's better if you fuck it up completely.
Right. Thank you.
Because it also gives me material and ammo to insult you with, so I don't mind that.
Right.
All right, so let's get into our Mud Report. Brian, you're going to take it over because you've got some very sad news. Sad to me. Maybe the rest of the universe doesn't care.
Sad news, indeed. Well, so...
Is that even the right music? That's not.
We'll get there, folks. We'll get there. So I'm just gonna keep.
He's our big rebel.
Actually, you know what? I'm not. Fuck you. I'm not. I got this, man, because this was the music that we discussed.
Oh yeah.
This definitely was.
Right and dirty Mud Report. I
right?
gotcha.
Thank you.
We're putting it together. We're putting it together.
See, this is what I have to deal with. All right.
With my third pick, I'd like to choose Terry Funk.
It was fourth. It was fourth, Bob. Get it right. Wait.
Yeah.
Because we got Bob on the line to throw a dig. Bob and I played in several, actually, over the years, fantasy football leagues.
Mm-hmm.
We've always had in all these years, 10 plus, we've always had one quarterback is the only thing that we can play. And Bob, in our fantasy draft, drafted back-to-back quarterbacks with rounds 1 and 2, knowing that one of them could not play every game except for the bye week for the other. And I've never let him live it down. What was that?
It was a queuing mistake.
Yeah.
Let's talk about wrestling. Shut up.
All
Yeah,
right.
seriously, what's going on here, guys?
Well, you over there with the music, I'm listening to Riding Dirty. I thought you were going somewhere, so I was just trying to stall. Where the hell are we going?
Yeah, right.
You're supposed to do the Mud Report, Dan.
Mud Report. Here we go. So, Shelton Benjamin, he is not going to be debuting. They already put something on TV and everything too, and
Yeah, they had a promo package.
Yeah, I mean, they don't go that far with guys, so obviously something was up, and it was announced that his shoulder, I believe he's going to have a rotator cuff surgery. That's what it is. I'm not sure what the do you know the timetable on that?
I think is like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, and I mean, he already announced it on Twitter and everything, so I mean, it's legit. It's unfortunate because I was excited as anyone for him to be coming back, but
He discovered it at the Performance Center. It was he knew he had some shoulder injuries, but when they got to the Performance Center and looked at it, they actually had to rescind the contract.
So it's kind of like one of those in other sports, the major league trades that when somebody can't pass the wellness exam, the trade doesn't go through. Is that
Exactly
what
what it is.
Okay.
I mean, I think he's still going to be a part of it. I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's still going to be signed, but it's just going to be a little bit longer until we get to see him.
That's seemingly what most of the reports that I read said is exactly that this more or less is going to delay it. It's not really going to deter it.
Yeah. But I mean, he will be here, and hopefully, I mean, I don't know. Where do you think you see him? Do you think you see him coming back in the? Actually, I don't know. Where does he go?
I thought he was going to come back in the main event kind of like picture. Maybe not a title picture, but be an upper card guy, getting storylines, getting good pushes, getting good works. Instead, maybe because of this, I don't know the extent of the details of it to really comment fully. I don't think that pushes him down to mid card. If he's mid card, he better dominate the mid card. I don't think Shelton would come back if that were the case. Bob, wouldn't you agree? Because he kind of left because of that.
If we see Shelton Benjamin, it'll be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble.
You think he's that far
can't
away
see
from
him
being well?
That's
Yeah, dude, it's a rotator cuff. Like those things, they suck rehabbing those. I don't see him becoming a mid carder. I see him probably getting a good shot at a main event, status. But it'll be up to him whether or not he can keep it.
And by the way, I had a major rotator cuff injury for myself when I was 17. I didn't have surgery or require surgery to fix it, but I did go through months of rehab, and that still took me forever to get back. And that was when I was 17, and you can bounce back from anything. So there is a chance.
You weren't a world-class athlete either.
well, yeah, I was a high school athlete, and by no means world class. So no shock there, Bob.
No, I'm just saying, that's people like him, they're world-class athletes. They know how to rehab and stuff, and those kind of injuries still can take forever.
Yeah, I mean, it'll remain to be seen. I hope, because of that tease promo, Brian, I hope that we actually see Shelton Benjamin back in a WWE ring. I really do.
Yeah. And then a second thing that I want to mention,
Bob, you'll like this one.
Yeah. So, Bob, did you hear about Conor McGregor calling out WWE? Not so much the fans, but the actual product, the wrestlers. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Yes, I did. So, yes, I used to do a radio show on wrestling. Half the show was wrestling, the other half was MMA. And so, yeah, I'm a huge fan of MMA. He's adorable. I love him to death. He's probably the best thing in MMA today.
Yeah. I mean, but what about the stuff that happened with him and Dana? I mean, I know he's going to be on. What is it going to be on? UFC 202. Is that it?
Yeah.
The one thing though, what was weird though is that so now you have Brock coming over and doing the UFC thing. What about? I mean, do you think there's some sort of cross promotion? Do you think this is just a work? Do you think this is
okay? I don't know if you know or not, but this was announced today.
Mm-hmm.
Brock is no longer listed in the standings of UFC. He has been officially separated from the company.
They're wiping him out.
They're Chris Benoit.
Yeah, I mean, are they gonna? Does that mean that they're kind of taking away his wins or his title reign, or?
No, he's no longer
Just
like
he can no longer compete.
There's no more like Brock is going to have another match.
Right.
Like he's done. He's no longer associated with, like, the UFC separated themselves from him.
That's crazy.
I don't think it's that surprising. I mean, Brock has proven. I mean, Heyman advocates it, but Brock has proven that he'll do whatever he wants, and you can't control him. So Dana White is just like Vince McMahon. He wants complete control. So when you have a wild card like that, get him out. Especially since Dana is not deciding, unlike Vince is. Dana is not deciding who wins and who loses matches. At least Vince has that level of control, unless Vince truly, or excuse me, not Vince, unless Paul truly was not doing that work that I know you've heard, Bob, about that that Brock could have taken the victory if he wanted to.
You and I have already had our discussion about that. That is the single dumbest thing I've ever heard. But yeah, that was thrown out there by Paul Heyman.
It is very dumb, but it does for a supposition. I thought it was good. Is it real? No, absolutely not.
No,
but I
not
did
even
like
close.
it. I did like him throwing out there and stirring the pot with it.
I will say Conor McGregor's young enough that he sees the writing on the wall. I mean, your lifespan in MMA is shorter than pro football, so he sees that when he's done with MMA, he could still be a young man and still able to make a good deal of money. Brock's not going to be around forever. WWE has a spot for smaller guys like Conor McGregor. I think he has a tremendous career in pro wrestling if he's willing to invest himself in learning that industry.
So you think this is Conor McGregor pushing his career or giving himself life after MMA?
Oh, dude, he's the Irish Money Mayweather. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is.
Go on, Bob.
No, I mean, this is.
I
this
mean,
is
like
him
WrestleMania
hyping
appearances
himself
or
up
an
for-
actual contract, Bob? Like, is he just going to show up for a rivalry or is he going to be in WWE? Like, since you brought up Mayweather,
he'll
Brian.
have to be done. He'll have to be done with UFC. Dana is not going to risk giving a legitimate athlete in the UFC.
But what I'm saying is, is it more than one match? Is it more than one work? Is it more than like a Legends contract of 3 months? Is he actually going to have a run in WWE?
He'll have a run, and then he'll end up going in probably into a contract similar to Brock's.
Yeah, I think what's happening is I think he's going into business for himself. It seems like he's kind of just padding that for after his UFC career so that he can kind of transition to this. I mean,
if that's what he's doing, that's not a bad thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, right? It caught me off guard because I had heard rumblings that he was kind of one of the guys that was interested in coming over and kind of doing WWE and UFC. So this is interesting.
No, but make no mistake, Dana will never allow one of his guys to do a true wrestling match, because then it's allowed to bring into question legitimacy of UFC.
But it can only work the other way. It can, Brock can go.
It can only work the other way. Correct.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
Well, there you go. That is our Mud Report. We're going to move on to this week, this specific day in wrestling history. Where's my effect, Brian? You were so bad. Come on, man. You made me write out a completely separate sheet for you of when to cue them up, and we put them in order.
Yeah, but here's the thing: we don't have music for that yet.
No, we had a sound clip.
It's time for this day in history.
All right, well, we need to. All right, thanks, Bob, for providing that. Don't show up at karaoke night, please.
Just move it along.
All right, so
Rob right now would lose his shit.
This day in wrestling history, 17 years ago today, was a very big night for the Monday Night Wars. On Nitro, Chris Benoit defeated David Flair to win the WCW United States Championship. And also, that was the main event that night. Hulk Hogan returned wearing his trademark red and yellow. He teamed with Sting and Goldberg. Imagine that. What a weird trio.
Sting and Goldberg.
Against Sid Vicious, Kevin Nash, and Rick Steiner. And despite the return of Hogan, WCW Nitro only got a 3.1 rating. Whereas over on WWF Raw, WWF back then, from the hometown of our girl Kiera, Chicago, Y2J made his debut. Raw is Jericho, and had just a great promo with Rock kind of slapping him down a little bit verbally, but both of them really had a great segment. I think Rock, I can't remember his setup, but of course he set him up for Y2J to go. He goes, "Who are you?" And Y2J started to say who he was, and he goes, "It doesn't matter." So that was a big deal. Also that night, the tag team championships changed hands. Kane finally spoke in a not voice box voice to say, "Suck it." And basically, nobody really cared. I mean, that was probably a dumb part of the night. And then in the show's main event, China somehow defeated Triple H and Undertaker in a triple threat Falls Count Anywhere match. It was basically Taker and Triple H in a match, and China picked the bones at the end when they both knocked each other out.
Sure.
Bob, what do you got on this day?
In '63, there was the showdown in Shea. One of the few great things happened in that.
I think you got the year
The
wrong.
Mets losing.
I think you got the year wrong. It's 36.
I don't care.
Bob says, "Fuck you." Go.
Yeah, a bunch of other shit happened, but let's focus in on the main thing. Bob Backlund and Pedro Morales defeated the Wild Samoans for the title, but here's how stupid this shit is. They weren't allowed to keep the tag titles because at the time, WWF had something dumber than the Divas division. They had one man, one belt policy. So Bob Backlund and Pedro Morales won the titles, but had to give them right back to the Samoans that they just beat because Bob Backlund was already busy being the champion.
You know how stupid that is? Because Pedro Morales was in a completely no-win situation if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the match, Pedro Morales was quoted as saying, "Eh?
Eh?
Eh.
Eh? What do you got, Brian, for this day in wrestling history?
Oh, so 19 years ago in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we had Sabu defeated Terry Funk in a barbed wire match to win the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
I'm glad I made you say who lost. What was the match again?
That would have to be my, what was it, third round?
Fourth round.
Fourth round, sorry.
How many kids do you have, Teeth?
Yeah. The match became the main event of the show, appropriately named Born to be Wired, 2 weeks prior when a number of injuries forced shuffling on the card. And obviously, this was back in ECW's heyday, the violent and graphic nature. The match really never actually aired in its entirety on ECW programming.
Too graphic.
Yeah, too graphic, which is kind of crazy thinking about how much crazy nonsense that they
I'm sure
actually-
Jerry Springer's Too Hot for TV was around back then, but they couldn't show this.
Right. And so anyway, the match doesn't last long either. Both men became so entangled with the barbed wire at one point. Sabu went to the finish rather than to do more spots. I mean, he just wanted to skip all that just because both of those guys, they were just kind of just
gassed.
When Sabu thinks things have gone too far,
right,
you should probably listen.
Yeah, you should definitely listen to Uncle Sabu, right? And then let's see. Sabu's second and final reign would only last 8 days before losing the title to Shane Douglas over at Hardcore Heaven. And also, in interviews since the match, ECW promoter Paul Heyman has said the level of violence bothered him so much he would never again book such a match, and he never did.
Which is saying something, because
Yeah,
he was kind of the brains behind all that. Kara, what do you got as one final thing for us?
Hey, guys, I'm here. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Kara, how you doing?
Good, man. Good to be here now.
Yeah, great way to get your pleasantries out of the way.
Hi, Kiara.
Hey, Brian.
Let's try not to run over this week.
30 years ago today in St. Louis, Missouri, Ric Flair defeats Dusty Rhodes to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship for the 5th time. Rhodes was in the figure 4 leg lock, but did not submit. The pain was too much for Rhodes, thanks in part to an assault by the Four Horsemen days prior. As he passed out, his shoulders were counted down. What a crappy way to lose.
Hey, I got a question for you. I think we're recording this, Brian, but if I ever heard a commercial for Hooked on Phonics, that would be it right there. We just have Kara read, and it turns into a, look, we can fix you. Maybe we'll give her a program.
You know what's funny? I took Hooked on Phonics as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is a little real. I got a real dig
It's
here.
one of those things, I guess.
All right.
All right. So now, if Brian is ready,
yes,
we're going to go into. I'm giving you the longest intro here to cue this sound effect.
Okay.
We're going to go into our next segment. Look at that.
Oh, there is a guy.
Eureka.
What you need to make a good Smarkdown. Smarkdown is your 3 key ingredients.
So the 3 ingredients tonight are as follows. We're going to talk, number 1 is going to be a little bit of talk about Daniel Bryan maybe teasing a little bit of a heel kind of vibe. We're going to talk number 2. We're going to talk specifically about Bray Wyatt tonight. We'll mention, of course, Ziggler, Rowan, and Dean in that segment too, because obviously they were all involved. And we're going to talk about the tag team title division. A lot happened tonight with very little happening tonight, and we want to touch base on it and kind of point out the fact that are they going to do the titles? Bob says it's an inevitability. We'll get into that a little more. Well, let's go back now to number 1. Brian, I gave you a hand cue, and I gave you a verbal cue.
Music still playing.
I know.
Come on.
There it is. Great. Turn the damn music off. So number 1.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh my, Bob, you have no idea. You have no idea, Bob.
So number one tonight is Daniel Bryan. Last night on Raw, he kind of fired the first shot. Foley was definitely being a face. Foley was definitely inviting him, being kind of a cordial host. And then Daniel Bryan comes in and kind of starts a little something with Cesaro kind of instigating, hey, I think you're underused. He also, on the podcast that follows SmackDown, he basically was taking a dig at the name of the title and the fact that they had to create a title because they have one on their show. And in the end tonight, he kind of stood up to Dolph Ziggler by saying, screw you, when Dolph said it back to him last week, which I pointed out that it didn't kind of work having the two faces GM and having a guy kind of tell them what to do. So maybe WWE Creative saw this and maybe they chose to switch it a little bit and make them one heel, one face instead of two faces.
You knew it was never going to last like that.
It wasn't, but did this kind of get a shots fired by Daniel Bryan going to the show, instigating and kind of threatening Foley's authority? And the other thing, is this a sign of things to come? Is Daniel Bryan going to act a little more evil now, like kind of Napoleon-like?
I think he's... Go ahead, Bob.
Foley invited him.
Well, he didn't invite him to come in and instigate, bullshit with his wrestling superstars and stuff. I mean, and basically he showed a video package of him mocking their choice to make the Universal title and the name. What was the name
he called it? Shitty name for a title. They had to address it at some point.
Right.
They called it the Interspecies title, which was interesting because there's actually a promotion called Interspecies Wrestling that they actually have a pretty good so I don't know if that was just one of those things that Daniel Bryan was just kind of sneak in there for the IWC.
The Galaxy title or something,
yeah,
I think he said. There was a lot of bad names on there. What were you trying to say, Kiera?
No, in my opinion, I just think that Daniel Bryan is trying too hard. I think he's desperate at this point. From what I see, my point of view, it seems like he doesn't really know.
So the fans don't like him. He's going to go for the hate.
I wouldn't necessarily say that the fans don't like him. I just don't think he's found his place when it comes to being GM.
Yeah, I mean, I really see him as soft in the GM role,
not SAWFT.
He just hasn't. He hasn't found his.
Okay.
He hasn't found
his
groove
no,
yet.
No, more limp than soft. So I mean, just in general, I'm still curious. Are we going to see Bryan try to throw his weight around more?
I mean, go on,
I think
Bob.
he attempted that tonight.
He attempted.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to at some point. Somebody's going to bow up to him, and he's going to have to be the boss.
And you knew it was never going to last. Them having two face GMs, you knew there was going to be some sort of kind of.
But Shane had his evil days when he was going after Big Show and all those digs. Kiera, you were watching back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So I thought maybe because of all the yes and everything and how face Daniel Bryan became, I just didn't think he could come back for it to try and go heel again.
You don't think he has that in him anymore?
No, I would be more believable with two face GMs and or commissioners and the people who run the place, the McMahons both being the evil ones.
That's kind of sad because we've seen heel Daniel Bryan and he thrived on it, and it is kind of hard to see him go that route, go to that side again.
He did, but it was mostly a gimmick with the whole AJ Lee costing him the match at WrestleMania in Miami. I think it was 32. It was just.
But he ruled it though. I think he did an awesome job with it with the no.
Well, in general, closing thoughts on this, guys. What do you think?
I mean, I do think that it would be refreshing to kind of see Daniel Bryan kind of take a heel turn, and I mean, it hasn't happened in a long time. I mean, what was it? Him, Team Hell No, right? I guess, but that wasn't even really heel. I mean,
Hell No was Kane was the
that
heel,
was a tag team.
and they were a tag team rivalry, so they were basically like the Odd Couple forced together in their stupid therapy and all that crap.
But he was the No Man before, prior to the tag team.
Right.
You know what could be good? He could do a no gimmick as GM. You know, anytime someone approaches him, make any type of request or request matches. No, that could work. I don't know.
Yeah,
something like that.
I don't know. I like the idea of it, but creative has let me down so much lately that I'm fearful of it. Brian.
2.
Thank you. Number 2, Bray's promo at the beginning. He comes out and he basically tells everybody, I'm running the roost. I'm the man. But yet we saw last week he got pinned clean, and then he and his buddy Rowan his acolyte Rowan started beating up on the opposition right after losing a match. The promo, and I know, Bob, you're going to chime in and defend this. The promo felt like a bad work because he simply, he said, I'm now the top dog. You didn't even get the number one contender match, and you had 2 attempts at it, and you got pinned clean. I mean, to me, it wasn't bad what he said, Bob. It wasn't the manner that he said. It was the message. The message had no merit.
I disagree.
Why?
He's going to defend his actions no matter what. So, I mean, to say that the message had no meaning, the message is always about him. He's always the most selfish character in wrestling.
But he's also the one who never can back it up. Bob, when your character says, this is my world, I'm teaching people. It is if you're coming out there and saying that in your promo. It's not believable when you're losing.
Do you expect him to go out there and sack it? Like, hey, guys, I've been losing a lot. I know.
No,
I mean,
I guess I expect creative to recognize that.
He still has a character to market. He still has T-shirts. He's got to push. I mean, he's got to believe in himself more than anybody else.
Yeah, but creative has to realize that this is an uneven message. Kara, I know you got some opinion on this. You have to realize this is an uneven message with Bray. Him losing and then talking like he's the king.
Oh, definitely. They've been doing this with him. They've been having him run around with this whole thing for quite some time now. My thing is, what is Rowan's role in this? Is he like Bray's cleanup guy? Because honestly, I don't like it.
He's certainly not helping him get victories.
Exactly.
I don't see him changing any kind of. He's still going to be the same Eric Rowan that he's always been.
Yeah,
and not in a bad way. I mean, I've always, he's awesome, but I don't see him kind of straying from any kind of Wyatt family thing that they've been doing.
He cut a little bit of the promo here, but I mean, is he the guy? Like, obviously, and this is one of the points that I was going to make tonight with this this segment. Obviously, when you hear the names in a tag match, Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, Dolph Ziggler, and Dean Ambrose, and you know that the title picture and the main events of what's going on with the characters, you know before the match starts that Rowan was going to get pinned. You knew it. He's the guy.
Yeah, no, Rowan is the designated pinner.
Right, so if he's just there to be sacrificed, I mean, we've seen it. Mm-hmm. We didn't care. I mean, are we just stalling till Harper gets well? I don't know. Do you think that's what it is, Brian, that Harper's coming back?
Is Harper the better man?
And this is stalling. Harper did have a title run.
Yeah.
A singles title run.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're going to separate him. He's going to come back into the Wyatt family. He's not going to, kind of go along his own path. I really don't know what they're going to do with him.
I mean, you bring up a good point. Is Harper? Are they considering? Are they seeing something in Harper more than what they see in Bray? Are they considering like maybe putting Harper in the title picture? Something.
Harper's had a title. Bray's never held a title.
We got upload test on the chat board saying Rowan is Bray's number one henchman.
Well, that's fine, and that's what he called him tonight with the acolyte.
Yeah. Right.
My point being is, are you really even a worthwhile henchman when the guy you're henching for always loses? It's like the old classic Batman with Adam West, all those henchmen that the Joker or Mr. Freeze or whoever the villain was that week had, that would get knocked out in one punch by the gayest punch ever, and there would be a bam thing, and it's like, oh, are those henchmen worth a shit?
Right. It's like going on to the RAWESOME show. I mean, why would you go on to the RAWESOME show when you can be on the Smarkdown show? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Exactly.
Clearly you want the quality reporting. You don't like that one, Bob?
Shots fired. Shots fired.
All right. Any other points to make here on Bray? I mean, I'm just creative is the bottom line to me. Creative is selling something with him that they're not backing up in the ring, and it's uneven to me, and it's making me hate it. And I do like the guy.
I agree. I think creatives, they're sleeping on Bray. They don't know. They're just.
I don't think they know what to do with him.
Yeah, that could be it too, Bob.
We don't know what to do with you, All Stars. He's number 1 on the list, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't see why not, though. I mean, I think the guy's all around great talent. I mean, he's pretty decent in the ring. He's good on the mic.
And the Fireflies alone show how much the fans like him.
It's still going. Like, the fans have not died off from that yet. So.
And that's another thing too. Just watching their entrance, I don't think that's it. That's never going to die down.
Exactly.
I mean, that entrance is iconic with Bray Wyatt.
Bob still sounds like he's popping to me. Is it just me? Is my headphones loud? I don't know.
I think he is. I think he's probably one of the most over. I mean, I think it's hard to argue that he's not one of the most over guys in the industry right now.
Well, we'll see. Time will tell.
3.
On our number 3, our final one, the tag team division. There were some rumors going around, and this is kind of the unevenness of Daniel Bryan when he's mocking Raw for making new titles, and then now it looks like they're going to make SmackDown tag team titles. The problem I have and why this is the discussion tonight, I thought American Alpha got a great push tonight, but they played their hand. They played their hand so very clearly because the Usos did not come out. So this new title, I can tell you right now, if I potentially am right, American Alpha is going to fight the Usos for this new title. That's what the end game is going to be. The reason I think that is they fought 2 jobbers tonight, and not only did they fight 2 jobbers, but the impromptu lumberjacks of the Vaudevillains, the Hype Brothers, and what was the third one? The Ascension.
Yeah, are
Brian.
you kidding me? Come on. I'm about to jump out of my seat.
No fucking wonder I forgot about them. The only 2 other teams that weren't out there were Usos and Shining Stars. So it suggests to me that American Alpha is going to get a great push because they cleared the ring after all the 6 other guys came in. They stood tall. But
I just want to say, Brian, I'm on your side about the Ascension. That is the most misused tag team in the company.
Right? Come on, man. I mean, look at their face paint.
Inarguably.
They wear aprons, it looks like, with writing on it. They spell their name with K's. I mean, can you not love?
Okay,
about the
I'll say
Ascension?
something about that. The Ascension, I was a fan of the Ascension in NXT. I don't know what happened when they came to the main roster. Maybe that's a creative error as well. I'll say that much. But I had no problem with the Ascension. in NXT.
SmackDown as a whole is a creative error lately. Let's just put it out there.
I mean, they were dominant in NXT.
Yeah,
and then
they
came
were.
up and then just poof.
Down.
Poof.
Well, they showed up and the fans booed them because their gimmick is the Road Warriors.
We're not even just that.
Well, here's the thing.
Bob, they blatantly said they were better than them in the beginning, and they name dropped some other great tag teams, and that was like their 2nd or 3rd week on Raw, and they never got pushed again. They got shuffled to the bottom.
Turned against them hard.
Right.
Well, I think that's where they made the mistake because they never said anything like that when they were in NXT. They never put themselves or compared themselves to any other tag team. They were unique. They were their own.
But this is similar to Bray. When you come in and say we are better than everyone, and then you just keep getting pinned and pinned and pinned and pinned, it didn't work.
Well, I don't think Bray or the Wyatt family ever said that they were better than anyone. They just made a statement saying we're here.
No. He very clearly tonight, in my opinion, made a statement saying I'm better than everyone. Not to backtrack a topic, but he very clearly said I run the place. That's how he opened the show.
Yeah, that's his presence. That's his command. But about Ascension, I think there's a difference between you have the independent circuit crowd, and then you have main roster crowd.
Yeah, but
these fans are two crowds of people, and main roster crowds don't know everything about indie circuits. So
Zack Ryder was getting a huge push less than a month ago. He won the ladder match for the IC title and Mania. Now he's back in jobber tag team role, and the Vaudevillains, who I thought were getting a decent pop. I don't know if they're being punished for hurting Enzo or something, or for Simon Gotch just being rough, or maybe the shiner he gave Heath Slater in the back room.
Exactly. I think it could have something to do with that. Just a mini little kind of...
But either way, they're now getting squashed, and the Ascension has been squashed since their third week on the program. So my point being is they've created a tag team division over on this show, and and in the first real match that featured more than just two teams, that actually featured the division, was a squash job on 3 tag teams. Mm-hmm. And that's my big problem with it. Creative, once again, letting us down.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's a creative error. Like, it's clearly, I think what SmackDown's creative team, I don't think they know how to focus on more than one or two main storylines. You take a look at Raw and look at their creative writing. Everything is all around diverse. They're able to shoot around and have everything interesting, but with SmackDown, it's just one sole story, and everything else is just pretty much mediocre. So maybe there's a problem with that.
There's definitely a disconnect, I feel, with the audience. No, Brian?
Yeah.
Where's the sound effect? That's what I was just passing you a note for. You're clearly talking to somebody online, but you have not told me who is chiming into the show. You are terrible.
Hey, lay off.
Dude,
lay off,
typing,
Adam.
I have it set up, and then you tell me, then you get my attention to do exactly what I was going to do. Hey, Rob, can you hear me? I'm here. I'm available. We got upload testing. Ascension is being used as a heel version of Golden Truth.
Okay.
Is that what the heel version of Golden Truth?
Kind of. I mean,
no.
I mean, they're not chasing around Pokemon and just walking through random matches. But
and Scooby-Doo promos.
The Ascension is supposed to be taken as a serious heel tag team. I don't see it. I don't see the Ascension ever using any humor in their group. Am I wrong about that?
No, the Ascension has no humor. The Ascension has no worth whatsoever.
Yeah,
only Brian loves them.
Golden Truth is all about humor, and it's
all right. So obviously they haven't worked yet. What if they do throw them in kind of more of a comedy role? I mean, that seems to be kind of what their knee-jerk reaction.
They already are a joke.
They should throw you in there, Brian.
Right? Hey, I'll paint my face.
Here's the thing, though. Now they're such an afterthought that now is actually a good time for them to just go screw it and just start devastating other tag teams and start building up a legitimacy, because it was doing a Roman Reigns thing. When they came out from NXT, we were told, this is going to be your new monsters, you're going to love them, watch them destroy people. And then the fans were like, no. Well, now that they have no legitimacy, they actually have the opportunity to rebuild that legitimacy.
Are you talking about maybe 3-minute warning? Somebody chiming in online, Brian?
No. Yeah. 3-minute warning, they're already recreating that right now in NXT with those.
It's like you forgot the entire production meeting.
Hang on. There seems to be an announcement. I've got something to say here. I can see them skyrocketing and becoming the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
I think that is the most bold prediction. Vegas odds will pay out on that. That's got to be 1,000 to 1. Let's move on now to our best and worst. Give our awards of the night. See where we stand. I love that music.
It's good.
It soothes my soul.
Gets me every time.
All right, let's get it started with our show winner. Who won tonight? We're going to kick it to Bob for our winner. Who do you think won tonight?
Mauro Ranallo.
Oh, you fuckwad. Go on.
Dude, he is the best thing about SmackDown, period. I hate because I'm going to talk about this later, but in the first women's match, he was talking about little blonde.
I know her name. Yes, the line was, she's more Maleficent than Mulan. Is that what you're talking about?
That's a quote that blew my mind.
Yep. The reason I'm right there with you is he's my show winner too. I can't believe you picked him, but go on.
Dude, he is literally that guy who can turn chicken salad from chicken shit.
Yeah. The other quotes that I had written down for him, Bob, he hoped that Ziggler and Dean Ambrose were better teammates than Brandon Marshall and Darrell Revis, who got in a fight this week.
It's current.
The other thing, he put in a Tinder reference at one point in the match. He said he swiped right for a devastating connection. Just the guy, I mean, he's throwing in some really good. I'm jumping right in on your point, Bob, because that was my show winner. I am loving him. He's probably my single shining star. Fuck the guys from Puerto Rico, Caribbean. I know Medina will get mad at that, but whatever. Mauro Ronaldo, I can't agree with you more, Bob.
It doesn't really roll off the tongue, though. Mauro Ronaldo, right?
Mauro Ronaldo. Yeah, Don't. He's an announcer. He never says his own name.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to roll
That's
off
true.
the tongue.
Yeah, good point.
You got anything else for that one, Bob? I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just...
You kind of took all my thunder on that, so that was awesome.
You tried to take my thunder. It's my show. Guest host. Kira.
You called on me first.
Yeah, because I didn't think you were going to go with something so good. Kira, you're up.
My best. I'm taking American Alphas. Great match with them. They even took out the entire the entire
division.
Yeah, pretty much. So bold statement there.
Brian, what do you got for winner?
My show winner, I have to go to a guy that you're very familiar with, Dean Ambrose. I mean, he was all over it from the beginning to the end. I mean, he even that segment, the one part that I really want to talk about is the super kick that he took.
That was a good exchange in the opening segment.
Awesome stuff.
That was a good exchange. Show loser. I'm going to start just in case Bob tries to steal me again. I'm going to go with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch for the second week in a row got a no match with Eva Marie, and then ended up basically she was the top draft pick for SmackDown, and she ends up getting, putting Alexa Bliss over instead. I know it was her birthday, but Eva Marie now is ready to compete coming back. I just think Becky was our big loser. Kira?
I'm sorry, my divas, but I'm going to have to go with Eva Marie tonight, simply because nothing's popping out to me. I mean, this is the second week in a row where
nothing popped out for us either. We were hoping.
So this is the second week in a row.
It definitely
almost
happened.
did. Yeah. So Eva Marie, you got to bring something for me. I'm not buying it. It's not working so far.
I was hoping for a Janet Jackson moment. Now that SmackDown is live, I thought we had a chance. Ryan, what do you got? Who's the loser?
Show loser for me. You know what? I mean, I get it, but it has to be Rhino. I know he's riding the big wave. Yeah, but it's sad to see an ECW.
He just won political office.
Exactly, but that's what kills me is that he's one of these grizzled ECW original guys, and now he's kind of morphing into this weird Linda McMahon-esque type of political. And hey, I mean, he won. He did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm holding everything. Go. Hey guys. Hey, here we go. Yeah, I mean.
You're getting animated about Rhino.
Dude.
Especially the guy won the election and now he's your loser of the night.
But
he's winning.
Not because of that, but more so because of how he's being used in WWE.
Good point. Bob, who do you got for your loser?
More specific than Kiara's, Eva Marie's makeup. That chick was wearing so much foundation, I'm 100% sure her face is just busted.
Now, when a man says that, that's pretty bad.
So she's got like pock marks and shit all under there. Is that what you're saying, Bob?
It's just concrete levels of foundation on her face.
Concrete
levels. It's badly noticeable.
If a man can notice that, that's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit caked on.
Yeah. But, to add on to that, Bob, like she usually wears that much makeup. Like she pounds it on. That's all I've ever. I'm sorry. That's all I've ever seen her as. Just
a makeup pound.
Yeah, caked up.
We got Can I throw something out that's a pet peeve that drills into my fucking brain every time they do it?
Let's hear it, man.
What's that?
All right.
Eva Marie, everything red, except for her Albion robe, which is white.
At least last week you are correct. I did think about that. Last week the robe was red, so it felt even stupider that this week the robe was white and they still said everything red.
All red.
It's
everything.
an accent color. You know what I mean? Something's got to pop against.
Yeah.
I mean, even her like skin tone.
Coordinate.
Maybe it matched her foundation.
Yeah, right. I mean, she's kind of turning red. I mean, her hair is red, but her skin now is actually turning red. So
That chick is ugly, man. There's nothing can help that.
They just want you to stare at the cleavage. Bob, I'm going to let you start off best promo or video package tonight.
Bray as normal. Bray is the best on the mic. No matter what situation he's in, he always brings the gold. You can't argue with me otherwise.
Here's my one argument. Okay, when Michael Jordan struts around a basketball court saying that he'll beat anybody in one-on-one, he then backs it up. This feels like,
but he's not limited to writers. And here's the thing about Bray's promos. He is one of the few people in today's wrestling climate that isn't scripted. They give him pinpoints, but he doesn't get a script. He goes out there and he freestyles every time he's on the mic, and every time it's money.
If only cutting a great promo was your only requirement to be in the ring, well, Brian still wouldn't be there.
Right, but the category is best promo.
Okay, I give you that, but I'm still saying like you can't. When you say something that you can't back up, like Bob, nobody knows what you look like back at home. But if you said I can dunk a basketball, we would all laugh, and you definitely couldn't do it. So we wouldn't care.
My name is Bob Green. Bob Green does not dunk shit.
Well, that's my point. So if you went on a hiatus and said how great you can dunk, nobody would believe you. Nobody would care, and they see that you.
The only name more cracker than Bob Green is Saltine.
Saltine.
Wow.
All right, let's move on to somebody else.
Yeah, you know what? Let me say something. I agree with Bob.
Okay, is your best promo, Bray?
Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
Echo, go. Take your time.
I mean, I think Bob is like right on the money with it. You should know this, Adam. Back in the day, your word was everything in pro wrestling. If you didn't have a good talk, if you didn't have a good promo,
very true,
then you were shitty. It didn't matter about the wrestling skills. If you were pretty.
This feels like Heath Slater coming out and talking shit, 3-man band, and then getting his ass whomped. That's what this is starting to feel like. Heath Slater is really
great on the mic, though.
I'm not saying he's great on the mic. I'm saying Heath Slater's message was, I'm amazing and nobody will beat me, and then he loses every single week.
That's because he has nothing to prove. He's not that
so
really that good on the mic.
Nobody cares about his promos and his mic work, and that's where Bray is heading to me when creative is doing this.
No, I would not put Bray in the same category or even compare him to Heath. No.
All right, well, I'll let you two elope in your agreement with Bray. Brian, what do you got?
Best promo? Yeah, it's got to be Bray.
Oh, fuck.
I had the same exact thing.
3-on-1.
Sorry, man.
3-on-1.
Sorry to disappoint you. And even just the part at the end. When
mutiny, damn it.
When he tells him to run. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
He's intimidating.
He totally is.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is he is the bully that then got popped in the nose and bled and cried. That's what I feel that he is. So he seems intimidating and he puts up a good vibe, but as soon as George McFly punches him in the face, he turns into Biff. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm still enjoying
Look like a tree and get out of here. All right, my best promo video package is just very simple. I thought a lot of them were terrible tonight. I'm just going to be honest. The only thing I liked was Daniel Bryan firing a shot back at Dolph Ziggler with the, what is it you said last week? Was it screw you? And then moving on, kind of his replacement. That was the only one I liked. Going on, maybe I'm going to start in case all three of you agree again. Botch, stumble, miss. For me, it was Maurice and Miz. I could not stand that. They're interviewed at the table with Renee Young. They're on opposite sides of her, and they both decide to lay out across the table and do PDA right in front of everybody, blocking Renee Young, who's the only one that I would have wanted to look out of the three. It was just so...
And you didn't like that?
No.
I loved it.
We're just... Apparently I'm on the island myself tonight. Who wants to go next? I don't even care. Botch, stumble, miss. Brian.
Yeah, so I'll go next. Mine would have to be Carmella's promo when she came out. I didn't think that...
It went flat.
It did go flat. And one of the things that I did notice, since I've been kind of bringing up ECW a lot tonight, her music was playing as she was talking, and it just kind of just struck a chord with me, and just... I don't know if you guys remember New Jack.
Yeah.
During
Oh, yeah.
all of his, anytime he would come out, didn't matter if he was wrestling or promo or anything, his music would play until he was back into the curtain.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe you think they're trying to do something like that with Carmella, something similar? Or
I mean, hey, if she could bring out her best New Jack, hell yeah, then I'd be all about it. But
do you think they're compensating for the fact that she got nothing? I mean, she got no pop. There was not a single. I didn't hear even.
This is what I'm talking about. The NXT crowd and the main roster crowd. Two groups, two sets of like fans.
But you're trying to get people to like her, and the only thing that I liked about her was that she pinned Natty and made Natty look like a loser again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but we also have to remember that we're only 3 weeks into the brand extension, so we have to give it a little bit more time.
Well, the Divas division has been a train wreck.
Yeah, but
Bob talked about going off the rails. They're in the ditch already. They're naming a gully after them.
The fans, you just got to get with it.
All right.
Got to adapt.
Kara, botch, stumble, miss.
I missed, a fair portion of SmackDown,
So
mommy duties
you
and all
was the
that.
botch, stumble.
So I'm going to say I was the botch, stumble, miss. But I'm going to go with Brian. If Brian is saying that Carmella's promo kind of fell flat, then I'll go with that. It's kind of disappointing, though. But
why don't you just all agree? Bob, what do you got? Carmella?
No.
Oh, good. Thanks.
I'm confused that none of you three said this. Orton versus Del Rio. You have two of the headliners, arguably two of the best on the SmackDown brand. They have no chemistry in the ring. There's no story to tell. Their match was boring.
Yeah, they did try. Apparently, there was a little bit of social media. Apparently, there was some social media beef to set this rivalry up for the night, but it definitely was a one-night work. They're just looking for something to fill Orton's time. Because
it was unwatchably bad, though.
I agree. I didn't miss it.
Better than that.
I didn't miss it. I'm going to get to it later in the night.
We've got upload test saying Carmella's groans were her top asset.
Carmella's groans. Anyway, so I mean, who didn't go? Brian, did you go in your Boston?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so everybody went.
Yeah.
We're going to go to shocking match ending. Mine's very simple because I already mentioned it. American Alpha standing tall after the match. I thought the other three tag teams would kick the crap out of them. They stood tall at the end. All the other tag teams were on the outside of the ring nursing wounds or nursing their licks, whatever you want to call it. Bob, what do you got? What was your shocking match ending?
The most shocking thing for me tonight was I wasn't shocked by anything.
Yeah, it was...
every match, the RKO out of clearly what was going to happen. The Stone Cold Stunner at the end of the... or not the stunner,
Dirty
but Ambrose's version of the stunner. I mean, and I even saw those guys standing tall at the end. I mean, there was nothing, and I was like, wow. I didn't see that coming.
Ambrose is doing a DDT. The stunner's more of a neck breaker.
Yeah,
but dude, it's basically the same thing.
I see what he's saying, though.
You would agree with him.
You
need to get a room tonight.
I'm just saying and you even said it. You've compared Ambrose to Austin, saying
I have in character.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in ring. I don't know.
But it's a kick to the gut. Here's your finisher.
If I were to compare that move, I would compare it to the stunner. That's what I've always compared it to in my mind.
The guy is even facing a different way, but whatever.
Shut up.
I'm not. The two of you are just two peas in a pod tonight.
He's mad. He's mad because I'm winning you over, Bob. That's all.
Shocking match ending, Kiera. What do you got?
I didn't have one.
Of course.
Nothing for me.
All right. Brian, did you have one?
Shocking match. Yeah, I think this. If you listened last week too, Eva Marie. I like that it's not so much shocking, but the fact that
they're not letting her wrestle.
Well, but they keep coming up with creative ways to have her not wrestle.
Eva Marie is now ready to compete.
Why do you think they're doing this?
Because they know that we know that she can't wrestle, so they're playing with us. They're playing
hide and seek, peekaboo.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, I mean,
or maybe it's SmackDown's way of saying we don't want to have you on our show wrestling because she wrestled. Well, she had no other choice, I guess, in NXT but to wrestle.
I would use the word wrestle very loosely.
She diva.
Come on, Brian.
She was out there.
Can we call her divaing?
Yeah, I guess that would be.
She divaed.
Right.
She divaed.
Work of the night. I'm going to start this one off. It was lame, but I hated most of the promos and works tonight. So I'm going with Heath Slater. His children that went from 2 to 4 to 7 in each promo, he kept adding children. The free agent, though, T-shirt sales, I think, will basically pay for that pool that he was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
He only is getting an above-ground pool, which is pretty modest for a guy of his means, since he supposedly just makes a lot of money jobbing out there. But Heath Slater, you won me over with the work of the night.
There we go.
Kara, what do you got?
I'm going to go with the Dolph, Dean, and, forgot the third guy who was in there.
Bray.
The whole that exchange, I like that. That was cool.
We should name your new segment Kara's Brain Farts. just let you have little moments like that. Oh, there's going to be less pay-per-views a year now that we have 2 a month.
I'm never going to live that down now.
Yeah, no, never. Brian, what do you got?
Work of the night would have to go to Dolph Ziggler. He's just goes 110% every time he's out there. And now that he has the title picture behind him, I mean, this guy's
Do you think he's going to win? Do you think he has a shot?
I do think he has a shot. I think that they're going to be keeping him around in the title picture for sure. However, I don't know if he's going to get it at SummerSlam. It might come after that, but we'll see.
Let's go to Bob to start us off. Wait, Bob, did you do work of the night?
I did not.
Do work of the night and then go into technical.
Bob.
The exact same reasons you gave.
Okay. Then you start us off with technical match of the night. Which one?
There's only one technical match the entire night. So I have to name this one as technical match of the night. Carmella versus Natalya.
Wow.
And I'm going to hang myself for having to say that.
Yeah. Well, maybe
no other match was technical.
Maybe save it for the Divas segment and see if you can make me care.
Oh God.
Mine was the main event. I thought there were some good spots. I really liked the ending, him delivering the dirty deeds. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match overall. It was predictable in the outcome, knowing Rowan was going to get the pin and knowing that either Dean or Dolph would take a shot at each other at the end. That was kind of predictable, but I still enjoyed it. Kara, what did you have for technical match?
I had American Alpha with the match that they had and the Lumberjacks coming in, and
those jobbers weren't that bad. The local jobbers that they fought.
No, it was pretty impressive. I was not disappointed. So,
Brian, technical match of the night, our experienced person in the house.
Yes, I'm surprised you guys. Del Rio and Orton.
Really?
You like that?
Really?
What?
Let's hear you out. Let's hear him out.
You guys.
Were you not paying attention a minute ago when Bob trashed that shit?
I know, but how can you trash those guys? I mean,
how can you defend it? Go try and defend this.
I mean, it's Del Rio and Orton. I mean, that's a
those are two big names.
Yeah, but Orton coming back.
Seen it, didn't care then.
Yeah, but I mean, and I know Del Rio is kind of he's in a weird kind of slump right now, and it was interesting that they paired him up with Orton.
Yeah,
so maybe
Paige is on a different show. He's slump busting.
Yeah, that's true.
Had to throw that in there.
Since you just finished technical, I'm going to go into sloppy match of the night. This makes me sad, Brian, because you are our experienced guy here.
Yeah.
My sloppy match tonight was Orton and Del Rio.
I have to agree.
The spots, everything, they just did not. I mean, and people were bored. I couldn't agree more with Bob's comments earlier. Like, I'm just echoing them because you just said that was your technical match of the night, and I thought it was the worst pile of shit. I would put Carmella and Natty over that.
Yeah, we got, speaking of that, we had upload test. I like Rio and Orton, looked a bit inspired with his top rope attempted spots.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe it just came off a little bit flat for
Bob and Kara getting a room, we'll get upload test, and Brian in another one. I guess I'll be solo in my room like normal. Kara, what do you got?
I had Del Rio and Orton, but to add on to what Adam was saying, it just dragged. The match was just slow and like not that much enthusiasm in it. And even looking at Orton, I took a look at Randy's face a few times during the match, and he's just like, he's just trying to keep it up, keep it going, and
just going through the motions.
He was probably wishing Fandango was back.
Do you think he's just going through the motions, or I mean,
it seemed that way. It did.
It felt so lackluster that it did feel like he was.
Like Adam said, it was just like a filler for the night.
Maybe he was stoned. I mean, Randy. We know Randy has a history of marijuana use. Maybe that's why it looks so lackluster. He didn't even like do any showmanship the whole match.
Nothing.
It just, I don't know. I didn't.
I think they were just trying to get, like you said, going through the motion. It seemed like they were just trying to get through the night.
Now let's see if Bob is going to join me and Kara and go 3-on-1 against Brian. Bob, what do you got for sloppy match?
You just can't overlook the fact that Natalya is the sloppiest wrestler in the WWE.
Brian, he's talking about your girl.
But you just said Carmella was the match of the night. Now Natalie.
No. There was only one technical match. We're talking like real technical wrestling. It was Carmella and Natalia, but Natalia is a walking shitstorm.
Oh, wow.
Brian, I want to hear what you're going to say.
Don't hold back. That's cannon fire at Natalia.
I don't know how you could say that about Hart Legacy right there, brother.
Dude, she's an embarrassment to that legacy. She can't do simple short-arm clotheslines. Her submission moves look fucking weak.
They look like Matt Stretch.
Telling that shit was an embarrassment to Carmella.
All right. I mean, Bob's entitled to his opinion.
Yeah, I guess.
Are you saying
he wants to be divas? I'm not going to disagree.
I got a question for Bob. Bob, are you saying that Natalia, she didn't carry that match at all, or she couldn't carry Carmella?
No, I don't think she has the skill anymore. I think she has gotten to that point where she no longer gives a fuck, but she's trying to, and it just shows in her matches. It's just sloppy and poorly done. It's time to cut her.
She's been around for 10 years. I've been ready to cut her for 9.5.
Wow.
So, I mean, Brian.
Oh, so sorry, Brian.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make better points against Bob there, but Bob might have just made my best case for the Make Me Care tonight that anyone's going to make. Next up.
Whatever, man.
Next up. That is our final category for our best worst. Next up, we have something that I'm pretty excited about. We're going to talk about round 2 of the CWC.
Me too. Let's get that going right over here.
I guess I just need to talk slower as I give you the segue.
No, you're good.
And now, coming up in a second, when Brian cues this Jesus.
Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on.
That's about right.
Yeah, there we go. So we got the CWC coming up, and I am excited for round 2. Let me just get my
there's some really good
over
matchups
here.
coming up. We're gonna we don't know the exact schedule, and we want to avoid spoilers online, so that's why we're kind of going to talk about all of round 2 at once
and
here.
It's super tough to kind of stay away from those spoilers.
I already got one that so
you've been searching for everything, so I am going in with nothing. I have no knowledge of anything past the second round. So we got Jack Gallagher versus Akira Tozawa.
Who did not impress me. He's probably the one guy. He's probably the one guy that advanced that did not impress me. Ho Ho Lun impressed me more.
Ho Ho Lun impressed you. Oh,
and more than Akira Tozawa.
Oh God, have you? You got to watch Tozawa's.
That's my dude too. That may be my favorite of the entire tournament so far.
Oh,
wow.
You made Brian happy.
All right, well, Brian, run down the card before we just keep interjecting.
So we got Jack Gallagher versus Akira Tozawa, and then we have Tajiri versus Gran Metalik.
Who's going to get over?
Yeah.
Go on.
You just want to keep going?
Just keep going.
We got Zack Sabre Jr. and Drew Gulak. Noam Dar versus your boy Ho Ho Lun. We got the Brian Kendrick versus Tony Nese. And then we got Ibushi and Cedric Alexander.
That's going to be probably the highlight of the second round for me.
Which one?
Ibushi and Alexander.
I mean, looking at all of these, they really, now that we're past the first round, and not to take anything away from the guys that were already in the first round, but now it's kind of going to be interesting. And like I said, this is with no knowledge past the second round. I don't know.
Who's Johnny Gargano got?
So we got TJ Perkins versus Johnny Gargano, and then we have Rich Swann and Lindsay Dorado.
Yes, Rich.
All right, so where do you want to start the discussion? Which one of those matchups?
I mean, right at the top, Jack Gallagher versus Akira Tozawa. Gallagher really surprised me.
I was more impressed with him than Akira, I'm telling you. I hope Akira loses.
Out of all the guys that were in that first round, I would say, I mean, he's one of the top guys that he just sounds like, he's going to kind of come out and just shine. I mean, all these other guys already have their name, whether it be Japan, but I don't think, the U.S. audience isn't really, he's very new.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Karen? Have you ever...
I don't know too much about him, but what are you saying about the audience, the U.S. audience? They don't.
I'm just saying that
much.
Tozawa, he's a guy that he already has a big following.
Yeah.
Jack Gallagher, I didn't really know too much about him, but out of all the guys that I saw in the first round to advance, he was the guy that surprised me the most. I don't know.
Maybe that was his push. Maybe
It
that
could
was the
be.
one thing that they gave him.
Yeah, I
kinda
mean,
shining.
if we're gonna go into
giving. Hey, we want you guys to see a second match with this guy.
yeah, I mean, I don't.
Not necessarily a push.
Right, I don't think they're gonna put him over Tozawa because I mean he's those Japanese guys they.
Well, the next two matchups I want to talk about and get your opinion on, Brian, are the two that Grand Metalik against Tajiri. I do not have any spoilers, but I know that Grand Metalik just signed a contract to WWE.
Exactly.
The other one
This
is
was-
Cedric Alexander just signed a contract, and he is going against Kyoto Bushi.
Right.
So, with that said, do you think both of those guys are automatic winners because they got the contracts? Do you think maybe they got the contracts so they lose? Bob, you're
Bob
about to
Sanders.
chime
Yeah,
in. What
Bob,
do
hey,
you got?
Bob.
No, I don't. I think the contracts actually are a sign that they're not going to win. Anybody they're signing this early, they're wrapping them in. They're not going to win the whole thing. Honestly, I mean,
You
is
see
there anybody
Tajiri
who would think
advancing
that
another
Kota
round?
Ibushi's not going to win this whole thing?
I hope he does, but I mean, and I agree with you. I think that's probably why I would not pick Cedric Alexander because Kota Ibushi's just not gonna. I don't feel he's gonna lose in the second round. He was the one who impressed me the most, but Cedric Alexander was probably in the top three impressing. But Bob, do you think that Tajiri's going to advance another round then?
No. That's not what I said. Okay, so for that part of the bracket, I have Gallagher versus Grand Metalik
Okay.
in the next round.
In the next round.
Yeah, so they both advance. So Tajiri's out.
Both of them advance.
Okay.
And
That's
Tajiri's
interesting.
out and Akira's out, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay.
Wow.
Who else do you have?
And then what was the other one? You said Cedric Alexander. and-
Cedric Alexander and Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I just said I have Kota going. I have Kota winning the whole thing.
Yeah, Ibushi was so impressive to me for such a small serving size of what I've gotten to see of him so far. Yeah, his promo package was good. Watching him work a match was, I mean, it was almost Shinsuke Nakamura level in terms of impressing me.
Definitely.
I was just like, wow.
Yeah, I think we're on the verge of a Japanese rebirth in wrestling.
But now,
That would be awesome.
Bob, if you know anything about it too, Ibushi, I know he was one of the guys that was rumored to have a contract, I guess, essentially given to him. But I don't know. I've been hearing mixed stuff about whether or not he's going to be taking it or not.
Well, and Brian, your guy, Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah. Same boat.
How far do you think he goes? Because isn't he on the same side of the bracket as Ibushi?
No, it's on
He's on
one
the
side
other
of the
side.
bracket. Yeah, he's on the other side. He's on the side below Akira and Gallagher.
Well, like him, Rich Swann, Gargano, do you think they advance more? Do you think they advance?
So here's who I have advancing out of these 8 fights. I've got Gallagher versus Metalik in the next round.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Sabre and Ho-Ho in the next round. I've got Kendrick versus Kota in the next round. I've got Johnny Wrestling in the next round against Swan.
You think he goes over TJ Perkins, huh? Gargano?
Yeah, I think this is the coming out party for Johnny Wrestling.
But he's already one of the guys, though, that he has a contract. He's going to be teaming with Ciampa.
Since you're pointing that out right now, that makes me think that that the winner of the tournament is going to be the guy that's already got a contract, the guy that could get a work and benefit from it.
Well, no, because I don't think I don't have him going over Swan.
Okay. Well, well, that's the other thing to say. What about Zack Sabre Jr. and Ho Ho Lun? Who's your now final four? You just told us who you got winning. Who would be your
my
final
final four are actually. You know what? I just realized I have something wrong. I have Gallagher versus Ho Ho Lun.
Wow.
Dude, Ho Ho Lun.
That's got to shock you, Brian.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
And I've got Kota, and I actually said that wrong. I have Kota versus Johnny Wrestling.
Interesting.
With my finals being Kota versus Ho Ho.
All right. And you said, of course, Kota's winning it all. Kira, do you want to chime in on any of
If
these?
anything's going to be wrong about that, it's going to be Sabre. And it'll end up being Sabre versus Kota.
I would rather see that, I think.
See, but Saber's one of the guys that I heard he's already been outspoken about he's not going to be staying with WWE. He's already got goals outside of WWE that he wants to achieve, i.e.
Then that may add legitimacy to him losing them.
Yeah,
Right.
Maybe that's why they put Johnny Wrestling into the finals. Who knows?
I just had one question. How far do you think they're going to let Rich Swann advance, or how far do you think he would advance?
I think he'll make it through this round. I don't think he'll move past that.
He gets the Elite Eight, and that's it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I figured the same.
Well, I mean, I can't. The way SmackDown's been, I get more and more excited each week to watch the CWC. So I'll be excited as we continue. That's why I'm trying to stay spoiler free. Anybody out there listening want to engage? If you are spoiler free, we want to hear your thoughts. If you know what happened, don't chime in. You'll just ruin it for us.
Yeah, right. I don't want to hear that.
Now, our favorite, or my favorite segment, is when you baby birds and Bob get to chime in tonight. It's our Divas segment. Tonight, just to recap, we had Eva Marie bullshit again, twice. We had Alexis Bliss win on her birthday. And we had Carmella get revenge and pin Natty. Make me care.
Mauro Ranallo.
Ooh.
I'd listen to that dude call anything.
You are tugging at my strings tonight, Bob. Yes, I think that he is good. But all that means...
That's all I got.
All that means is that now I want to do the Britney Spears video in reverse. When I watch a Britney Spears video, I want to mute it and just see it. Now you make me want to do it in reverse. I want to not see the match and just listen to Mauro. So I don't think that's a decent try at the argument. Let's hope Brian and Kiera got something else to contribute.
All right. Well, so I talked about it before. Eva Marie. I do like. I mean, it's not.
If she showed tits, I would care. Just
okay.
FYI.
All right. And
I am a breast man.
We were live, and I got to say, when she came out and that happened, I did gasp. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. It was a little. It was legit, but then I tried playing it off as if it weren't because then I realized it was so. It was
you
overly
didn't notice, but I dialed 9-1 because I thought something was happening to him, and I need to dial the third one.
Yeah.
Brian caught the vapors.
I did. I did.
Ooh, I got the vapors.
All read everything. Other than that, I mean, we had
nothing was pink.
Oh Jesus!
I just derailed your thought train in so many directions.
Ninja, please.
Oh my God!
Ninja,
dude.
please. Oh God.
Yeah, and then what else was there? We had the debut, right, of Alexa Bliss and
the official debut.
Yeah,
she cut one promo, but that was it before.
Right. Welcome to SmackDown, Alexa Bliss.
Happy birthday.
Welcome, Alexa.
But yeah, I mean, and then we had Carmella too, and I mean, I know this segment is make me care, but I mean, it's hard when they're.
Dude, I'm
they're
so
giving us all these
upset
pieces.
right now. Like.
So
you know what?
Wait.
I'm not.
Kiera chimes in.
Yeah,
so
go
Brian,
for it.
you're blaming creative for not giving you a good argument.
I can only use the tools that I'm given as an artist, and they're not giving me anything.
Brian has deferred his argument to his legal counsel. Bob has made a point that I feel I shot down properly. Kiera, you're up next.
I think
we
it's
got
all
3
creative.
strikes and you're going to be out.
I do. I think it's all creative, and also that these divas that have just come, most of the divas that have come from NXT, the new drafts, they have no competition. And you know what, Adam, you did say this last week, so I'm going to give you credit for that. Okay, Alexa Bliss. I'm going to count Eva Marie in there also. Becky Lynch. All of those divas, all of those women, they were showcased in NXT, and they played really good roles. They had really good storylines, and they were pretty good damn wrestlers.
But you've talked about this with the NXT and not getting the pop. What I've seen, if I never watched them and never heard of them prior to what I've seen after the draft, there's no way I would care.
That's the thing. This is going to be a big transition for the fans in general. You know, you've got I'm going to go back to what I was saying earlier tonight about there are two different groups of fans. You've got the independent circuit and you've got the main roster. Main roster people, some of them don't know about the independent circuit. And that's where these divas kind of like, they suffer. They kind of get you had something to say, Bob?
Not for nothing, but I could watch Carmella and Alexis Bliss smash up against each other for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that match.
And I feel bad for Carmella. Like, I blame
If we're talking eye candy and I want to see him do a dance, I know Carmella was a former cheerleader for a couple different teams. I'd watch that. I'd rather watch that than a match.
No, what I was going to say was Carmella, she, of course, everyone knows that she was with the group, Enzo and Big Cass. She had a great role in NXT as well, and she had great matches. She went against Bailey for the NXT Women's Championship, and I just hate how I hate the role that they have her playing on SmackDown now.
It's just like
I
the
blame
tag team
creative for that.
divisions. They got it squashed. So, just to clarify, for next week, I think you guys missed the thing. My point is that creative is not making me care. Your job is to try and find some silver lining. So maybe try and get... Bob, I will give you a silver lining. I will not let you win the argument on that solely because he is not a Divas division guy.
Can I just sneak
that
something
would
in?
be like,
okay, wait a minute.
That would be like, what's the guy's name that does
right.
the promo for Eva Marie? That would be like saying he's the reason I care because these two guys are great.
So you are saying that creative is to blame for these divas?
Oh, I mean, creative is actually making my case for me. I didn't intend for this segment to be that way. I thought that you guys might get some ammo. I really did.
I mean, hey,
I've talked to Rob off the air many times. Rob has some ammo for his show. He probably could win the argument if we were talking just Raw's Divas or Women's or whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Of course.
He has some ammo. He could come at me that what they're doing with Nia Jax over there and the rivalries that they've got going on in the belt, especially with Charlotte ducking out of the picture, that leaves room for somebody else to come up, maybe Bailey, maybe who knows. It doesn't even matter. They're doing something and making people care. Creative is not on SmackDown. Your job in this segment, which quite honestly is like an impossible task, is to try and I'm trying to get you, because I am definitely one-sided. I'm trying to get you guys to try and save the Divas from just being non-existent in terms of mentioning it on a podcast.
Did Natalya bring all those women down?
Thank you.
She is
Every
I think
match
that's
she
another.
has with them brings...
But that's just confirming what I'm already saying. And so every time creative books her, Bob, they are taking the legs out. They are turning their division into Cotton Hill. They've blown their shins off every time they send Natalya down the ring.
I have to agree with that. I'm
But you
sorry,
understand
Brian.
Natalya is 20% of the division
We've got
on SmackDown.
But what about if she and this is kind of upload tests? What if we regressed and kind of went back to cleavage and booty shots? Do you go back to that?
That's what you two are agreeing with Eva Marie. That's exactly what Eva Marie is bringing to the table. That's all she's bringing to the table.
So maybe
is cleavage and booty shots.
Maybe she's the Divas Revolution. Maybe
Dude, that's
all over Eva Marie, man.
All right, I'm done with this segment, just like I'm done with the Divas. Brian, take me to trivia.
So wait a minute, hold on. I'm not done yet. I'm not done. No.
You had your chance and you
cut
copped
me
out.
off.
No, you copped out and claimed it was creative.
No, I did not like
You
cave in
blamed
or whatever.
creative. We
So
have
you're
it
saying,
on tape.
You're saying that if they only show ass and titties, that'll be good enough and that'll make you care.
No, at least they'll be calling a spade a spade.
Your top two favorite divas back in the day, Trish Stratus and Lita, they didn't have to show only ass and titties. These divas put on like really good damn matches, and now you're saying that if they only show ass and titties, then that would be good enough?
No,
Fuck
I'm
that, Adam.
not saying it would be good enough. I'm clearly saying if that's what they're marching down and they call it ass and titties, then I'm fine with it. They're calling ass and titties wrestlers, and they're not. They're like packaging Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson for me.
That's because they're not wrestling.
And during
They're
the
not doing
days of what
anything.
you're talking about, when I loved Trish and Lita, I did not care whenever Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson got marched down to the ring. I was like, oh, I got to go pee. Next segment, Brian Trivia. Kara, better luck next week.
And now it's time for a little Smarkdown trivia.
All right. Here we go.
Wow me, sir.
There we go. Let's
Bob, you
play
get to
through a
play
little
at
bit.
home.
Yeah.
All right, Bob. All right, you guys ready? You got your whiteboards there?
I don't have
Whiteboard?
the
You got,
whiteboards.
you know what? We don't want to use the whiteboards.
I don't know where they are.
Oh, you don't want
I
to.
think they're hidden.
They're hiding.
They're
All right.
behind
Hiding
this
somewhere.
screen.
What screen? Oh,
It
that's
doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right.
got papers.
So
We can write it down.
you got a pen and a paper.
Yep.
We are going to do WWE wrestlers' hometown trivias. Let's see where you guys, if you guys know where your favorite superstars are from.
Originating
No.
or okay,
We're
so
gonna
where
go
they
with
live now?
No. Where they're billed from.
Okay,
So,
like
whether or
Chris
not
Jericho wouldn't be Atlanta, where he lives now.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. No. We would just do. Let's just do where they're billed from. So
Okay.
let's see if you guys are.
Wait a
paying
minute, hold on.
attention.
Let me get this right.
Let's hear it.
You said where they're billed from. You're talking about when they do the announcing, when they make their entrance out
Yeah.
to the ring.
Right. Right.
So that would be the current place where they live then.
on TV. It's where they're billed from.
Yeah.
You know, is let's see. Ultimate Warrior.
Chris
Is he-
Jericho
he's not,
is a
he's
good.
not- have a vacation time in parts. Well, I guess
Well,
right
no,
now he
but-
does in
but
parts.
to Kiera's point-
R.I.P. Ultimate. That was a bad,
To Kiera's point, give us the markers. But to Kiera's point, what she is saying is like Chris Jericho. I think when he comes out now, they say
Atlanta.
from Atlanta, Georgia, via Toronto,
by
I think.
way of Winnipeg,
right, or whatever. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. How's that sound?
All right.
Okay.
All right. So number 1, let's go with our boy Randy Orton.
Randy. I got this one. You got this one, Kiera?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
You got it, Bob?
You can go to Bob first each time since he can't write it down.
All right.
Oh, Rob is rolling his eyes that Bob is trying to be the head of the class back there.
Why? The Bob.
I'm like Rain Man with this shit. I can't, don't make fun of me. It's St. Louis, Missouri.
There we go. He's got that right. We got Adam. He's got you want to chime in there?
I got St. Louis.
All right, Adam, you get that.
What do you got,
too?
Kiera?
I put Missouri, but I know that's right.
You gotta name the city. You can't just be like, "Oh, he's from
Oh,
Canada."
my bad, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, that's half right.
Okay, give her half a point.
I'll still press the sound for you.
Okay.
That works. All right, let's go.
You got it right. So if you pick somebody from Canada, don't just write Canada.
All right.
All right.
All right. Let's go with the voice of the voiceless.
Oh, that one's easy.
CM Punk.
That's a gimme for Kiera.
You know, I mean,
My man.
but you know, you could be eating something. You could be going to the bathroom
Whatever.
during their entrance. I mean,
Bob, you go
You
first.
never know.
Chicago.
All right,
Chicago.
there you go. Adam, you got that? Yeah.
I'm smiling. You should see my face right now.
Kiera, yes. Very nice. Very nice.
Her
very nice.
hometown. She better get that one fucking right.
All right, let's go with.
She already doesn't know how many pay-per-views there are. She better at least know who's from her hometown.
How many is it again? No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
All right, what about the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar? I'm sorry, Brock Lesnar.
That was pretty good, Brian.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
All right, I got to guess.
Bob, what do you got?
He's from Minnesota.
That
Specifically, otherwise
that
you only get a
is
half a point.
correct. Yeah. Well,
You didn't give Kiera a full point for Missouri.
yeah. All right. Fine.
You set
fine.
Hey, you're the scorekeeper. You set the precedence. I'm just trying to keep
my
you even.
God. All right, Kiara, what do you got?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. All right.
There we go.
And I'm wrong.
You're still writing, man.
No, I'm
Hands
wrong.
down.
I'm wrong. No, I'm
How
showing you
the
that.
fuck did you get St. Paul? Really, Adam?
I picked the wrong goddamn Twin City. What does it matter?
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Come on, man.
Damn it.
All right.
Goddamn lockbox. Fucked me up.
All right. Let's go with a Mr. Daniel Bryan.
Oh.
Give you a hint. It's a little.
Yeah, we got it.
Wow.
Don't give any fucking hints.
All right,
Screw
no
these
hints.
people.
No hints.
I'm trying to think.
Dude, I don't know.
All right, Adam, what do you got?
Aberdeen, Washington. Is that not right? What the hell sound effect?
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Kiera, what do you got?
I put Washington. I knew it was Aberdeen, but I thought I was wrong, so I didn't put Aberdeen on. I just
She
put
knew she couldn't spell
Washington.
All
Aberdeen.
right, yeah, it was
We'll
close,
do
so
a partial
I'll
point.
still give you the partial point.
Okay.
Bob, what you got?
I had nothing.
You had nothing. Oh, really?
Absolutely.
That's okay,
nothing.
Bob.
Yeah, I guess sometimes it is kind of overlooked that he is from Aberdeen, Washington.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah, they
weird.
only say it before every time you walk down.
Well, the only time he made it like prevalent is when he mentioned about the Seahawks. You know,
when he retired in Washington, that was his
Yeah.
retirement speech.
All right, here's a next one. We'll continue with the well, I guess not continue, but go with the SmackDown theme. The Miz.
Ooh, I know.
Uh,
this.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay, I know where he's actually from.
You know where he's actually from?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
We're
but
not talking about Hollywood.
right. And
We're not talking about where he lives now.
But
well.
I'm saying what Lillian Garcia announces when each of these guys.
Okay, I'm
come
gonna
out.
just keep
I'm
what I
holding
have.
it up.
Yeah, Adam's got it. Adam, what do you got?
I got Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, that.
Well,
that'd be that.
Okay.
I guess I got a buzz because I got Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Although
Lillian
My answer was
Garcia.
going to be my answer would be Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland,
Yeah.
Ohio.
You
yes.
said you're going off the build location, and that's
if,
what
if you do, Miz is the other one that she says from Cleveland, Ohio via Hollywood.
By what?
The
Okay.
Miz and Y2J are the ones that Lillian or whoever's
Have
announcing
changed.
them say both.
Now I'm a stickler for those, for where they're built from. I pay attention to that a lot. So
We'll see.
Anyway,
I'll be the judge of that.
You're doing well in the scoring, to
I only
prove
missed
that you
one
paid.
so far.
it's true. I mean,
I've only
yeah.
missed one.
One of them was your damn hometown.
All right, and we got the. Let's go with. Keep going with SmackDown. Alberto Del Rio.
Wow. I'm just.
Adam's drawn a blank.
Is it Juarez, Mexico?
That would be incorrect.
I'm going to do exactly what I told Kiera not to do with Canada, and I'm just going to write Mexico.
Okay, that'll be. That's
Half a point?
acceptable.
Wait, I get partial for Mexico.
Yeah,
though.
all right, there you go.
You
Bob,
get half
take
a
that.
point. Well, did I get half a point for St. Paul, Minnesota? No.
Yeah, you did. No, you didn't. Well,
Yeah.
nah. Kiara, what do you
I don't
Good
think
thing
this
these
is right.
points don't matter. This is like
Mexico
whose line is
City?
it anyway?
Yeah, exactly. Mexico City, Mexico is incorrect. But I mean, hey, if we're giving everyone else half points for writing,
Well, like
what
I just
is it,
said,
though?
this is like whose line it is anyway points.
right,
These don't matter.
And I might get killed for this because let's see,
You can't even pronounce it? Is that why? This is good.
San Luis Potosí.
Do they even say that? Does she say that when it
I don't
comes
know.
out?
Well, I mean, he always has his own end. What's it called?
Who else do we have?
The guy, I know you're talking
Oh
about.
no,
yeah.
not Zeb. All right, this one is a layup. I will be extremely disappointed if you guys don't know this. Zack Ryder.
Oh, it is a layup for me.
Were you laughing, Bob?
Yeah. It's Long Island.
Yes, there we go. Thank you.
I actually want extra points. I wrote Long Island Ice Z.
Okay, there we go. I'll take that.
I just put New York. I forgot. It was New York.
I'm so good at this. I pay attention to this. This is one of the things I listen to.
All I ever hear is New York. New York.
All over here is the
I'm
state.
surrounded by New Yorkers.
The Long Island Ladmouth. Yeah, that's true.
As two New Yorkers, Syracuse and Long Island couldn't be further apart. So for you to lump us together is a big like F you to both of us.
That is true. That's true.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Thanks a lot,
damn.
Kiera. All right,
Sorry,
we got,
Kiera, I hate to agree with Adam on
Yeah,
anything.
I don't tell Bobby's from
I
Nashville.
hear that bullshit all the time from New Yorkers. Long Island is so far apart from Syracuse.
You're just mad because you're from the second city of Chicago, not the New York City.
it's a good city. We're gonna do one more.
Lame.
Ain't nothing wrong with Gotham.
All right,
Gotham.
Dean Ambrose. I know Adam was already writing as the
Yeah,
first
got it.
Look at
sound is coming out of my Adam, what do you got?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Very good.
yeah, I
Kiera?
drew a blank, man.
Blank.
Yeah,
Really?
I feel horrible about it.
I am so
I
glad
was
you
gonna-
are not on the match game.
I was actually gonna say Cleveland, and I would have been. I would have expected you to like completely buzz me for that one.
You talk smack at the beginning of this to be doing so badly.
Yeah. Now I'm going down.
This is a
I'm
good
going
theme.
downhill
This
now.
is a good theme, Brian. I like this one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob. Did you get it, Bob?
Yeah, it's Cincinnati.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay, good.
Yeah, Bob and I are paying attention.
Good. All right. Thank God. All right. You want to do one more? How do you?
We'll do one
Let's do one more.
Let's
do one more.
This is fun.
Yeah. Right. Let's do one more. Let's keep going with the SmackDown.
Just don't ask John Cena.
No, I mean he's on my list. Let's go with. Okay, this is a good one. He's not on SmackDown, although seems that he would love to be on SmackDown. Antonio Cesaro, or Cesaro as he goes nowadays.
Do they name a city?
I don't even know the city.
They do.
They do.
Give you guys a couple more seconds.
Do I have it, Brian?
Let's see. What does that say? I can't see. Geneva, Switzerland. No. I'm sorry. Kiara, what do you got?
I know
just had
I know
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Well, I guess if we're going with the theme of half points, then yes, then you both are correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, and so are you, Bob. So we got Lucerne, Switzerland.
Oh, I would have never fucking gotten that.
Me either. Yeah.
Yeah, the Cesaro section doesn't even know that one.
No, not at all.
All right, I guess that's a wrap on trivia.
Yeah, that's when we got.
That was
it on
fun,
trivia.
Brian.
Yeah, that was
I
good.
like that theme.
I'm going to
job, you
cash in
guys.
my half points for nothing later.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You get absolutely nothing.
Before you cue the music here, I'm a rarity giving my segment away for the night because Bob has a great topic. It's Dean related for the Asylum. Take us away with the music, Brian.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions. Ascolio mio, oh sada mia. All right, that's it. Now it's my turn. 5 minutes alone. That's all I need.
All right, take it away, Bob.
So we all know that last night Stone Cold interviewed Dean Ambrose. Started off strong with Austin trying to get Ambrose to say that his childhood sucked, and it didn't, apparently. He dropped out of school, his dad was never around, his mom was never around, and him and his sister just lived on the streets. But once you get through all the other stuff, this amazing moment happens where he talks about last year's Mania. And he said he walked down to the ring pissed off. And Austin said, well, why were you angry? And he said, creatively. And he didn't want to say it, and Austin kept pushing him and kept pushing him. And basically the man just came out and said, Brock is lazy. That he didn't want to, that Ambrose had all these great ideas for what to do with this match, and all Brock wanted to do was suplex.
And that was a bad match.
It was a shitty match, and he threw it at the feet of the Beast Incarnate. I don't know how well that's going to go over with Vince. Although he did finish towards the end of the interview, he did say that he was Vince's favorite wrestler, but Vince will never admit it. But he...
That's a pretty bold statement that can't be backed up if Vince will never admit it.
Yeah. But he buried Brock for that match.
Well, I mean, deservedly so. It's probably a low light of his career. And it was on the biggest stage of them all, if you will.
Yeah, and I mean, meanwhile, he's seeing the other two guys in the Shield ascend to great levels, and he is just, he's having, he's going to be thrown around by Brock for 10 minutes. When all he wanted to do was tell an amazing story, do amazing spots, and lose to Brock in a really great match, and all Brock wanted to do was throw somebody around.
That's interesting.
And it plays into, leading up to it, KO and Dean had some amazing matches in their rivalry that kind of ended at Royal Rumble for the mid-card belt. But so it proves, Dean was riding high, was stealing the show in the undercard, and then he gets Brock Lesnar at Mania that nobody cared about, and the match didn't perform. And they quickly buried the rivalry. That was one of the ones.
Are you guys saying that's a dumb down? For
normally
Dean?
when they do a rivalry like that at Mania that didn't have a long build-up prior to Mania, normally they'll keep it going afterwards. It'll be the one that goes to Backlash or whatever the pay-per-view is after it. This time they ended it just as quickly as they began it. So
I want to say they had a rematch the next night on Raw, and then they never did it again.
Yep. I don't even think he was on Raw the next night. Now that I think
No,
about
he was gone.
Brock was
No, he
not on.
wasn't. You're right.
No, he was gone.
So that's how quickly it was gone, and he didn't come back until they've announced this Randy Orton thing. That was the first time he came back. So not surprising. I am surprised that they did this. I wonder if WWE Creative will use it, will break down the fourth wall and do something with it after this Viper stuff. I don't know.
They had to beep out so much profanity between Austin and Ambrose in this interview. It was great. Ambrose is just a different kind of guy.
That's why I like him.
Yeah,
I'm a different kind of guy.
A great. Have you watched Have you watched this yet?
I did not get to hear it all because I was foolishly listening to RAWESOME to see what kind of content they had fired against us. So, but I should have listened to Steve Austin instead.
Yeah, he created a great, he just did an unscripted promo on Austin for some county fair wrestling match that ended up being really good. And you can tell Austin clicked for a quick second. It was I will fight you.
Yeah, Austin is really good about showing his personality. That's kind of why
It's
I like
good to
that.
have both of those personalities, just wrapping it up together.
Yeah, that's why I like
Well,
his
it ended
redneck
with
ninja warrior.
Austin telling Dean he thinks he's gotten too comfortable and he needs to get edgier and he needs to cut loose and he needs to push the envelope. And Dean was like, I'm kind of offended by you saying I'm resting on my laurels, but I guess I need that because now I'm pissed and excited.
Yeah, I mean, Dean is one of those guys that when you yell at him, you're going to get your best. If you coddle him, you probably aren't. So maybe Stone Cold recognized that and quickly pushed the button.
That's good. That's good, though.
Interesting point on the in the chat room. Upload test: Suplex City equals lazy city. I think Brock just tries to keep himself injury free by doing quote unquote Suplex City.
Oh, yeah, because he's valuable.
It is gotten old. Now, I did like it the first time we kind of saw it go crazy with however many he delivered to Cena in that one match. I did like it
only
that
because we liked watching Cena get thrown.
Maybe you're right. Maybe they need to have him. And you're right, Bob. Now that I think about it, because the other time I liked it, he was doing it to Roman. So you're onto something. Maybe it's the opponent is why we liked it. Well, thank you, Bob, for spot on job on the Asylum.
There we go.
I'm awesome.
That is now going to take us to our shots fired. So, as you know, the gang. The Smarkdown gang, we have split up, so to speak, just temporarily doing some works. We've got basically the Medine, Rob, Steve on the other show. Kind of going back and forth, cutting things. They did a little shoot on us, and then last night they kind of retaliated from what I feel was definitely cannon fire. It started off good, and God bless you, Patrick. You just went off the deep end after a little bit, especially when he got to Rob.
Took a left turn.
I love the wiping Medine off a chin thing, but yeah, after that, kind of went off. Thank you, though. I'm gonna take back the reins for this, as they criticize me. I mean, Brian Kerr, maybe we went overboard. Maybe we went lowbrow, but that's what we do. That's what I do. What we didn't do was we didn't pretend to disguise it as highbrow, only to have Medine go below the belt, not just metaphorically. A couple minutes right after that. We got a reaction, and Rob, thank you. You produced a very stellar Greatest Hits promo for us. I would like to thank you for that.
Thank you, yeah.
He even gave Kiera a pop there. He even gave Brian, the promo he gave you was very reminiscent of Steve's early days on the show.
Yeah, and just because I take the long way to make my points, that doesn't mean that my point isn't valid. It's just I'm taking the scenic route.
And with that in mind, Rob's point wasn't invalid. The point he did make, I don't compliment you guys enough. I don't give you guys props. So let me give you guys some props here. I'm gonna start with our queen, because ladies first. Let's just face it. She's a real queen. Sometimes she's too ladylike for our crew. The reason she stumbles is she doesn't want to jump on the grenades that we feed her of just filth. So we got a little respect for her. But it's better than forcing Steve to always be the queen of RAWESOME. Or, well, maybe forcing is bad wording there. Maybe. Just maybe. And Brian.
Yeah.
I see you coming up with your own segments and thoughts. Yeah, they may be simple, but at least they're original and not hacked up, riffed off segments like Medine trying to steal my This Week in Wrestling History segment for his own.
Thank you, sir. I can get behind that. Yeah.
I mean, just look at the timestamp. I beat you by a week. Come on.
It's true.
You're better than that, bro. And even our guest host, Bob. I mean, Bob, you by far are my favorite bald, marked out podcast host over Rob. And the reason I say that is Rob has an amazing prowess for production. He was so good at making that Greatest Hits promo for us that he didn't even have time to do the segments we requested that he said he was going to do for us. I mean, come on. That's pretty convenient, Rob. At least Brian, he doesn't know how to cue him up, but at least he made the segments he said he was going to make. So, I mean, I'd take you guys over him any day. I'd rather call Bob in on the Smart line than...
Oh, absolutely.
So, with that said, I just wanted to take the high road this week and just compliment my team. And I hope you guys appreciate it. I appreciate you. I'd much rather have you guys spit out your dumb shit than the other shows.
Whoa.
You know you're going to get a backhanded compliment from me in the end.
Well, I think we appreciate that, Adam.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. I didn't tell you I'm going to have a positive award show and then have a Debbie Downer award. I didn't tell you that we're not going to go into the filth and then have Medine talk about sucking cocks and stuff like that in his promo only 30 seconds later. What you see is what you get with me. I am very clear. I'm very concise. Not in anything that I say, but I stay true to what I feel. I stay true to doing what I love to do, and that is kind of start arguments, play devil's advocate, and get us kind of engaged. It's not always easy with you two, but I'd rather do it with you two than the other two.
Aw.
I'm going to run that into the ground. Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
You got it, man.
All right, so the next segment, guys, that we were going to talk about is basically a fucking worthless segment now on my production sheet because it's the SummerSlam shape-up. And SmackDown didn't add a damn match to the card tonight.
No.
They teased maybe a pre-show match between Kalisto and Baron Corbin that nobody will care about, just like Ryback and Kalisto and Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. Baron Corbin and Kalisto have become the pre-show all-stars. Let me just say that. So they didn't add Dick. Yeah.
Make a good lucha thing.
Yeah. You talk about a guy that can cut a promo. There's one. And then just yell your name when you fuck it up at the end. Kalisto! So they don't add anything. They don't even have Apollo on the show, the one match they added last week. They got no pop. They got no ad. Rob was rubbing it in my face. He goes, "Oh, you really don't think we're going to get all the matches from Raw to be on SummerSlam?" And fuck all if he might be right. Because they added matches last night. We added matches last week. They added matches last week. They're now way the fuck ahead. They have Sasha versus Charlotte. They have Rollins versus Finn. They have technically half of the Lesnar-Orton. It looks like New Day and the Club are going to fight. Rusev and Roman was made a match. Even Titus and Darren Young could still become a match on the pre-show. And they even have KO and Jericho versus what looks like Enzo and Cass. I don't know if that was official yet, but even that looks like a possibility. We have nothing. Cena and AJ weren't on the show tonight. Apollo wasn't on the show tonight. That is
I don't know how you don't have Apollo on the show.
Yeah, other than Ambrose and Ziggler, those are the only other SmackDown matches, and you had a video package. Come on.
Cena wasn't even on the show.
Yeah, but at least have AJ come out and wrestle somebody if you're giving Cena the night off. I know he's working a crazy
That's what I was
going to
say. You can't knock Cena for not being there, and I know you're not. But I mean,
I'm not.
In this instance, we can't. Give him crap.
AJ should have come out, talk some shit. Somebody should have interrupted him and got their ass kicked by AJ. That's what should have happened instead of both guys not being on there. Miz cut a promo and Apollo's not on the show. I mean, come on, guys.
This is a time where there shouldn't be that many absences.
Yeah, this was SummerSlam Shape-Up was the name of this segment, and it's turned into SummerSlam Shitfest because SmackDown is not contributing to SummerSlam the way that Raw is.
But Upload Test, I mean, what about he has some interesting, they seem to be teasing, talking about having SmackDown matches on SummerSlam, Eva Marie's debut. What does that do for you? I don't know, Bob just had some sort of...
Upload Test, thank you for being part of our show tonight. I can't do any more divas. I'm sorry. I'm tapping out on the divas.
Dang.
Wow.
That was quick.
I'm sorry.
So the first time someone left Adam speechless.
Yeah. Right? Well, no, we've wasted too much time on it, in my opinion. Eva Marie, unless some nude photos or she's going to be a cover girl on Playboy, I'm done with her.
She's modeled for Maxim in the past.
Yeah, but you got to bag that head, man.
Yeah. Wow, just turn it around, Bob. So real quickly, guys, this is our chance. Is there any comments you have for Raw, SummerSlam, any kind of opening things that maybe the Rawesome crew missed? Anything that you want to mention?
I mean, I would just say you brought up a good point about how we really haven't brought anything to the table for SummerSlam, SmackDown, saying that we're slacking right now and we need to be up on the ball about it. It's not looking good so far. I mean, I didn't even notice like Apollo not there, Cena, big misses tonight. You know, I mean, this is the time.
The
like,
6 guys from SmackDown that are currently booked on SummerSlam, 3 weren't on the broadcast tonight, and 4.
Yeah, what
wrestle.
the fuck? I mean, we have the brand split. This is a time where everyone should be like showcasing right now.
Right, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I just feel like it's only the 3rd week. I have to breathe.
Yeah, we're not heading for the hills, but I mean, the one thing that was exciting to me for new things is Shelton coming back. Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We still have not addressed the tag or diva division in a way that makes me think that we have a future there. And the main event card and the mid card and the rivalries aren't even getting rivalry time. So it's really hard to
what are they
now.
trying to? I'm sorry, Adam.
No.
What are they trying to do with the American Alpha? Are they going to put them up against some tag team?
They're letting the division get squashed so they can put them over, it looks like. I mean, I hope they're wrong. I hope creative looks up the word creative in the dictionary and figures out what it means and starts putting it on that track. Because, it's so weird, the dichotomy of our brand split here in the Markdown universe, how Raw is talking about a couple shitty spots or things like that on their RAWESOME podcast and how they love this other stuff. We're just dumping shit down the toilet, hitting the garbage disposal, hitting flush, whatever it is. It's bad. We're going to go into final thoughts. Bob, I'm going to let you kick it off for us. You got any final thoughts?
Ivory's face is busted. And Ronaldo is the best thing about SmackDown. And holy shit, the Orton Del Rio match was awful. And Bray Wyatt makes me happy when he talks. So they should improve upon those things and make the show better.
Do you have that voice box thing that the killer on Scream uses? Do you have that for your wife to use at home to talk like Bray when she's telling you what we're gonna have for dinner? She does it in a Bray style or something.
No, but I actually used to work with a guy who talked like Bray but wasn't a wrestling fan and didn't realize how fucking creepy he sounded all the time to me.
Did he talk in the same kind of metaphors and euphemisms and things that didn't make sense?
No, but it was the same cadence and his voice sounded like his, and it was really ungoddamn unsettling.
Did I work with him too?
Dog food and pit bulls and shit. And I'm just like, dude, you are messing with my mind.
Wait, did I work with this guy too when we worked together?
No, it's with the company I'm currently with.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Was that it for your final thought? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Thank you for joining us tonight. Brian, what do you got for your final thought?
Oh, man. I mean, they really didn't give us too much tonight. And then, we've been saying that they haven't really done anything as far as contributing to the SummerSlam card. I mean, I don't know. Where else can they go? I mean, they're not going to add anything. Do you think they're going to add anything next week? I mean,
the only thing I can think of is
it's already a pretty bloated card.
If they add a tag match, I could see if they're going to late minute throw in tag belt match. I could see that maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I could see at this point.
But I mean, it's it's positive. It's still the message that they're sending, that they're still having these guys that haven't been main event players, and they're still trying to elevate them. I think that their intentions are good. However, it's not coming across the star power. That's one of the big things that WWE always, they have it clearly on Raw with those big names, but I mean, it's going to take some time to build them up on SmackDown. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully, if with the tag team belts added, maybe something with the Divas. I'm sorry, not the Divas. The women's title coming on too. I mean, I know it doesn't really change anything. That's almost like putting a Band-Aid over, a knife stab. But
I think they could get by without a Divas title, maybe even a tag title, if they went with Bob's hope of bringing the Cruisers over to SmackDown. I don't know. Kara, what do you got for your final thought?
I've been giving this some thought, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to point the finger on, I would say, creative on the draft, because it seems like SmackDown has got the shit end of the stick. We need, with the women's in general, I think they need competition. You've got most of the women's the talent on Raw for the women's division, and I'm kind of scared for the women on the roster right now. And to add to that, stop with this Becky Lynch and Natalya bullshit. It's getting old.
Well, no, Becky Lynch and Natalya are not fighting right now. Natalya is fighting with Carmella.
Are you just saying you're just sick of Natalya? Is that?
I'm sorry to say it, Brian. I am. It's just not cutting it for me anymore. I don't see the relevancy of her, anymore in general. I hate the look on your face, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, because
He's defeated. He's agreeing with you. That's why he's making that look.
I mean, I can't take away that she hasn't really done anything as far as, it just seems like her character has been the same for however many years.
The only thing that we can hope is that she gives birth to a better heart.
Oh. But you can't take away. I hope you guys aren't knocking her actual wrestling ability.
No, we're not taking that away. It's just
Bob is. We know Bob is, but
she is.
I used to like you, Bob.
She is like an untechnical Lance Storm.
That's actually she's Canadian.
She's Lance Storm without the charisma.
Whoa.
She doesn't like offbeat
Lance Storm
shenanigans, right? Oh my gosh!
All right, so my final thought is somewhat going to echo you guys. This is where we kind of all come together. In the last couple weeks on Raw, they've had about 20 matches total. I have not counted their segments, and they've had 2 hours more broadcast time, of course, in the same 2-week span. SmackDown has delivered 11 matches in that span in 2 less hours, and they had 11 segments last week and a whopping 13 segments this week, most of which, possibly even all of which, fell really flat. The matches were terrible again. 2 in-ring debuts. We know that's going to win. We know that Rowan was going to get pinned. There was a DQ in the boring match. I mean, the whole thing. And one screw job, if you want to count Alexa Bliss's win as a screw job because Eva Marie, distracted her. However you want to spin the whole fucking night, I was just it's lackluster. It's not there. It's not what we want it to be. It's not something that we can get hyped about. It's something that we're defending the way way we can defend, the way Brian defended it. Stop chewing, Bob. The only way we can defend it is very, very simple. It is simply, we're not ready to get on the lifeboats yet because it's only 3 weeks. When are we going to stop being able to use that crutch for SmackDown and say, well, it's only been 5 weeks, it's only been 3 months, it's only been 6 weeks. It's going to get old really fast. If they don't give us something to get excited about, our podcast is going to shrink just because we're going to get tired of bitching about the same stuff even, like in terms of time. We're going to have to come up with new segments and new things to entertain our audience because SmackDown can't even entertain us. People covering it.
I've lost a lot of things, and one of them has been my smile.
That's true. That's what it makes me feel like.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's a great soundbite to play. I've kind of lost my smile.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes back. We thank you again for joining us. Get involved with us. Chime in. Call the YouRecord Smark line. Just get involved. We want to hear some feedback from you. We appreciate the live stuff. What the hell is this?
We got Terry Funk right in the background. I want to play it for you, buddy.
So for our Queen Kiera, for our experienced heavy Brian, I am Adam Baum. I thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be back next Tuesday night, same Smark time, same Smark channel. Ta-ta.
But I'm still a fighting machine.
Before you fucking gave me
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Smarkdown Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at YouRecord Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out YouRecord on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@yourecordstudios.com or visit the website www.yourecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.